Was it a good walk? Yeah, was it? Was it a good walk? Good morning. Today is Wednesday. Here we are, another video. Granger is here as well. And today is a relatively busy day. I have a few things I would like to get accomplished, so I will obviously bring you along for that. I have to get some sourdough bread started because I want to have that for tomorrow night's dinner, so it has to get started today. I have a sweater that really needs to be seamed. You guys would have heard me talk about it before, and I figured, well, what better way to motivate me to actually get it done is to share it with you guys. So that is what's going to be happening. I'm going to be seaming a sweater, and then if I get time, hopefully I will be able to start quilting the jelly roll race quilt that you guys saw me sandwiching in video before last, I think. So those things need to get done today. It is another dark, gloomy, cold day here in Adelaide, so Marion is screaming. I'm probably going to put her out today. She hasn't been out for maybe 3 days or so now, so today is a little less windy. It has been super duper like gaily lately, the last few days, so I haven't put her out because I figured she'd just get blown off her perch, but although she's a turd, so she probably deserves that. But I thought I better not do that to her, so she's been inside. I'm going to try and get her out today, and then I can use the space where she sits, where I do my sewing, as you guys have seen. So if I get her out of the way, it means I get to do some quilting. So yeah, if I can get to it, I'm hoping that I can get to it. So it's a little bit of a late start today. I didn't want to get out of bed this morning. Simon didn't want to get out of bed this morning. We both just laid there and groaned as my alarm, I kept snoozing my alarm and it just kept coming back on. Yeah, so we got out of bed maybe half an hour later than, or I got out of bed half an hour later than I should have. So I've only just gone and brushed my teeth and washed my face and gotten dressed. So I've at least got that accomplished today. I'm hoping that the rain holds off and I can take Granger for a walk. If I was able to, you probably saw some of that in the introduction because I am thinking I would film that. And I will have washing going as usual. Wednesday is usually my midweek clothes washing day, so I'm hoping, I've put it on delay for the moment so you can't hear it, but I'm hoping it doesn't bother the recording too much. So I think I'm going to get on with my day. I'm going to attempt to take Granger outside for a walk and hope that we don't get rained on, so fingers crossed. Alright, I've got some weird fill light happening at the moment because it's quite dark in here right now. But I have a couple of things to do here in the kitchen before I start my bread. And along with making my bread, I am in between loads of washing so that you get nice quiet sound apart from my oven, which is preheating. So yesterday I've got some wooden utensils just hanging up here. I gave them a butter yesterday, spoon butter. It is a coconut oil and beeswax mixture that I made, so they need to be all polished off. I will put the link for that site. You can hear Marion, she's outside. I'll put the link for that spoon butter down in the comments, in case you, not the comments, in the description, just in case you want to do that as well. These are teak. I bought a set of teak kitchen utensils, and eventually they do get a little bit worn out, so I do need to stick some spoon butter on them. Also yesterday I got some cast iron pans in the mail, so I'm really excited about these. They are pre-seasoned. They do get seasoned in the factory, but I'm just going to re-season them, so that's why my oven is on, so that I can oil these up, stick them in the oven and re-season them. So that's what I'm going to be doing for now, and then after that I will be getting on to making my sourdough bread. So I also quickly just wanted to pop in and say thank you to everybody who commented on the last video about, well, the second to last video I think now. I've still got one up my sleeve, but everybody who commented about water. I am still on my first jar of water. So this is the jar I tend to use. In summer when I get really thirsty, I just want to really chug water, and that's easiest to do out of this jar. I believe this holds about 750 ml when it's sort of filled to about here. I think it's about 800 when it's really full. So I kind of have an idea of how much water is in this jar, But since it's gotten cold, the problem is I'm not drinking it like I should. It just hangs around, and I'd maybe get through 2 of these a day. So reading your comments, which again, thank you so much. It seems like having a vessel that you know that there's a set volume in it and how many of them that you need to drink per day is the way people are getting through things. So I had a really good tip from, I think it was Nicole, sorry if I get this wrong, who said that she's drinking hot water now that it is cold, and she fills up her kettle and knows that she needs to drink that entire kettle for the day. So that was a great tip. I personally don't tend to like to drink hot water. My kettle is probably clean enough that I can just drink it as cold water. So that's an option. And yeah, Shara said that she has a 1 litre bottle, I believe, and just knows that she's got to drink a couple of those a day. So yeah, I'm thinking potentially I can keep with this so long as I keep on top of it. So long as I maybe a checklist was suggested. I can't remember, there were so many comments, I can't remember who said them all, I'm sorry. A checklist was suggested, just put on the fridge so I can check it off when I've had you know, a full jar or a bottle of water or something like that. So yeah, thank you so much for all the suggestions. I am trying to be really conscious of it, and I'm thinking that a checklist combination with a known volume vessel is probably going to be the way I'll be able to get my water intake in. So thank you. afternoon. It is about 2 o'clock, I think, in the afternoon right now. I've developed a bit of a headache, so I haven't been doing a lot of filming, I'm sorry. Especially not me talking to the camera anyway. My first 3 stretches of my bread is done, so that is that for now. Then I need to do another 3, but they're half an hour apart, so I've got a little bit longer between stretches now. And I have been seaming my sweater that I have to do. I am so far, let me get that out of the way, hopefully you can see, I have got, that's not helpful either, I have got the first, that's the underarm, and I've got the first side of the sleeve done, and I'm just working across the sleeve cap at the moment. I didn't film myself doing that because I find when I'm doing sleeves, you tend to have to ease in the sleeve cap. If you've never actually seamed a sweater before, you have to kind of ease that in, and sometimes it works first time, sometimes it doesn't. So I've actually ripped this out twice before getting it right. So initially on this diagonal section, basically under the arm here, I did 1 for 1 stitches, 1 for 1. So because you bind off a certain number of stitches at the beginning of the shaping for your body and sleeve, you have like a, I mean, you've probably seen it. I'll put a picture in so that you can see, but there's like a little flat section before you start your sleeve cap. So for those sections here, I just did 1 to 1 stitches, but then you have a section here, this middle section, that it's probably very, very hard to see because it's dark yarn in a dark house. So the next section, I actually tried 1 for 1 to begin with, that didn't work. Then I tried 1, 1, 2, that didn't work, and then I went 1, 2, 1, 2. So when I'm saying 1, 2, whatever, it's when you are seaming. What I might do is I'll do a close-up of what's on my lap when I start seaming again, and it's basically means it's the bar of yarn that is in the back. So say it's like basically a purl bump you're accessing from the front of the knit fabric, and that's the bar that you want to get your yarn under to snug it up to make the mattress stitch. So I will show you that in a minute. So basically I just use a little darning needle. So basically I just use a little darning needle with the bent tip on it like that, and that really helps to dive in, pick up that bar and pull the yarn through. So when I prepare my yarn, because this is just a piece of yarn, if I can find where I started stitching, I just left a little bit of a tail so that I can weave that in at the end. And then I think you usually need about 2 times the distance that you need to seam. I used 3 just to be on the safe side, because this is not feltable yarn, so I can't just add more length to it if I run out. So I'm more than likely going to have too much yarn and have a little bit that I'll have to chop off at the end, but I'd rather have more than less. So I'm just going across my sleeve cap at the moment, which is basically a 1 for 1. So 1 stitch heading down to 1 stitch that's heading the other direction. I'll show you in a moment. And I find that for me, going 1 to 1 over the sleeve cap and finding whatever your ratio down the side tends to work out quite fine. When you block it, it tends to hide a multitude of sins. And I think also often people will, I don't, because I'm just like that. Some people do actually do their sleeves in 2 parts, I believe. I don't know whether it's from either side of the top down to the underarm, or whether it's from the underarm up to the sleeve cap. And so they basically do 2 separate seaming sections. I don't. I just go up and over. I'm not really sure why people do it that way. I'm assuming there's some logic to it. If you do it that way, tell me in the comments why you do it that way, because I've always done it this way. I just go up and over, and I've never had an issue when I've seamed any of my knitwear. So, because like I said, even if it seems a bit off, blocking is always going to hide a multitude of sins, so I'm not really going to be that worried about it. I've never really noticed any difference when I've worn those garments that I've seamed. So yeah, do let me know if you do it in 2 separate parts. I'd be interested to know why. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dive into a YouTube rabbit hole and just put my autoplay on and let it play me videos of some kind, and I'm going to head and keep going on with this. I don't think I'm going to get to any quilting this afternoon. All of the other bits and pieces that I had to do this morning took a little bit longer than I was expecting, so, and then having had to rip out this sleeve twice also means that that was, you know, wasted time. So I don't think I'm going to get to sewing this afternoon. I will probably get onto that tomorrow, but then I can't share that. But I'm going to get onto doing more of this now. I will try and get some decent footage of that, and hopefully you can see what I mean by the bars between the stitches, and you can see how I'm performing the mattress stitch. And of course, you're on YouTube, search mattress stitch, and I'm sure you'll find a much better video than this one to teach you how to do it. Okay friends, I'm gonna have to start to wrap it up for today. Simon is due home in about 20 minutes and I have made progress. I have 2 sleeves attached to my sweater, so all I need to do now is whip up the sides and down the bottom of the arms and it will be done. Apart from weaving in some ends and giving it a block and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how much I got done. The second sleeve was much easier to do, seeing I sussed out all the issues with the first sleeve. So I'm pretty pleased with how they've fit in. They'll be fine once I've given it a wash. The whole thing's a bit tight anyway, to be honest, so I'm really looking forward to giving this a wash and letting it all relax and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there for today. I will be back shortly with a what I have finished in the month of May video, because today is the 1st of June. So yes, I will be back with another video shortly, going through what I've been working on in May, what I finished in May, and all that good stuff. So basically like a normal craft vlog that I would do. That's not one of these crafty day in the life sort of videos. So I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys again in the next video. So until then, take care. Bye.